Hey everyone, thank you all, and thank you so much to EC Council for having me on this webinar today. I'm very happy to be here. Just to introduce myself, my name is Glen Singh. I'm a cybersecurity trainer and also an information security author. Just to put simply, I've written books which revolves around the whole topics of cybersecurity, such as penetration testing, vulnerability discovery and exploitation. I've even written content on implementing network security solutions and even network engineering. One of the most passionate things that I like about my career is that I'm a trainer. And because of that, I'm able to help others actually fight against cyber threats. And that's one of the major reasons why I love teaching cybersecurity. Just a little brief about topics that we are going to cover today and the purpose of this webinar. It's a pleasure to discuss how the threat landscape are always changing and threat actors are always looking for new ways to compromise your networks. Whether you're a corporate organization or let's say a small business, threat actors such as hackers, they are always looking to invade your networks, which brings about a need for implementing and improving network security simply to reduce the risk of a cyber threat. One of the major concerns right now is what is the current world situation in the industry today? There are so many threats, there are so many attacks that are happening. As more organizations are going online, as in they're creating, let's say, an online presence for themselves and even connecting their corporate network to the internet, this increases the possibility of a cyber attack to their own network. The internet contains a lot of threats, as we all know, and a lot of different malwares. And by connecting your network to the internet simply opens a doorway for both malware and threat actors to access your private network. Now, many of us may think that connecting to the internet and having a router, we are safe. But that's not always the situation though. Threat actors, which are the actual bad guys, such as hackers, are always looking for new ways to gain some type of unauthorized access to your company's network. But why, right? Why do they want to get access to your network? Well, the answer is actually quite simple. And this is the thing. Their goal is to compromise your systems, but most importantly, steal the most valuable asset to any organization right now. And can you guess what it is? It's actually data. Years ago, we could have simply said threat actors would hack for fun, right? Which some of them still do, or many of them still do. Some even hack to disrupt services and systems, which is like, let's say, a denial of service attack. And reading up on cyber news daily, you'd see that denial of service attacks still exist. However, while many hackers target, let's say, a company's asset, which is data, data is worth a lot of money to a lot of organization, whether it's a small company or even a large enterprise organization. Companies value their data a lot, and data could be their employee records, customer records, financial data. It could be anything that is worth to the company itself. And because threat actors notice that data is worth so much to a company, they can hold the most valuable asset, which is data, at ransom. And as you all know, if someone holds something at ransom, a payment must be made. And this means the victims, which is the companies, will not really hesitate but make the payment to get back their data. And that's where ransomware is actually born. So as the years gone by, we have moved through different ages of different types of cyber attacks. Yes, we are still in the age of denial of service, but most importantly, we are actually in the age of ransomware. Because hackers simply want to gain money. They want to steal your data. They want to sell your data. Threat actors are hacking as a business now. And yes, hacking as a business is a real thing now in today's cybersecurity industry. They're creating ransomware, which is a special type of malware to infect compromised systems or to actually infect systems and compromise their network. Once a system is compromised, the ransomware encrypts the data. It encrypts all the data on the hard drive or the local disk except the operating system. And the reason for this is they want to make sure your operating system is working so that they can present to you a payment window. And this payment window, you'll normally want to make the payment in, let's say, either provide your credit card information or even make the payment in Bitcoins. And it's not cheap. So while many organizations are fallen victim to this type of cyber attacks, some companies have even paid a ransom, thinking that, hey, the threat actors will release their data. But this isn't always the situation. So think about this. Threat actors unleash their ransomware to the internet. They let it spread. A victim who gets infected may pay the ransom, whether by providing, as mentioned, their credit card details or some type of cryptocurrency. The hackers get their money if the victims actually make the payment, and they still sell the victims' data on the dark web. So how bad is that? Well, it's really, really, really bad, because it's just not ransomware. Many employees, accounts, and systems are usually compromised from other types of attacks, which is like phishing attacks. So back to the ransomware stuff. The threat actors stealing your data, selling it on the internet, well, the dark web to be specific, and they are still taking your money. And the victims, which is the companies, are not getting back their data at all. So this is why it's really, really important that organizations have a backup policy, such that ever so often they back up their data in case of some sort of disaster, or in this case, a cyber attack, and they need to restore their data. Now, as mentioned, phishing attacks are still very successful. Phishing attacks are very, like, it's been around for quite some time, like for quite some time. But phishing attacks are still very successful in today's industry. So to put simply, a phishing attack allows a threat actor, such as a hacker, to manipulate a person into doing something like, let's say, some type of action, as in clicking a link. And if they click the link, most likely some type of malicious script or malware will be downloaded onto the victim's system and infect the system. Or if a malware do not download, most likely the victim will be directed to a fake website. And this fake website might look like some type of logon page that would perhaps trick the user into providing, let's say, their payment card information or even their username and password. So imagine getting an email from your bank stating your account has been compromised. And the email also perhaps would state that you need to provide your online banking username and password to reset your account. For some persons, this is obviously very suspicious. But if the email is very well crafted, then an unaware person may fall victim and actually provide the details. Phishing attacks are always going on. And the challenge here is, as much as you may want to implement all your security controls, security solutions, email security solutions, and so on, the weakest link in cybersecurity is always the human aspect, because our brains are not protected. So this is why having continuous user training to help train your employees to identify any sort of suspicious activities essential to your organization. So with phishing, this is usually done in the form of emails. As mentioned, we always get fake emails, we get spam emails, and these fake emails, which may seem to be originating from, let's say, your favorite shopping website to make a purchase, an unaware employee may click the malicious link within the phishing email, and this will trigger, as mentioned, some type of malicious script that may be downloaded and executed in your browser, therefore compromising and infecting that system. And once that system is infected, the infection can spread through the rest of your company's network. Because most of the cyber attacks that happen, well, most of the successful ones always happen, well, I won't say always, but over 90% originate from the internal network. With all of these different attacks and threats out there, the need for network security solutions and professionals are most ever demanding right now. The challenge exists where the leadership team of many organizations are not seeing the need to invest more into cybersecurity or even within their IT departments. I'm sure you've probably seen, let's say, a meme online, which probably on social media circulating, where a company does not have enough money prior to, let's say, a cybersecurity attack. And after, let's say, the attack has happened, the meme shows the company has money to invest. So it is quite a funny meme, but in reality, it is quite true. Many IT teams face these challenges until something bad really happens. And then the leadership team will then see the need to actually invest in, let's say, some type of preventative control, some type of security control, or just overall into network security solutions. The thing about cyber threats is there is no warning as to when your network is going to be compromised. It just happens. And if you do not have any monitoring or threat management solutions within your corporate network, you won't even know your network is compromised, or you won't even know if there's, let's say, an intruder within your network until it's actually too late. When I say too late, I mean the threat actor has already exfiltrated your data and installed many backdoors into your network. This means we need to actually change our mindset of thinking in a reactive way and move to becoming a more proactive when it comes to both cybersecurity and network security. We should not take these things very lightly. A simple thing such as investing in network security can save you a lot in the long term. With so many threats out there, the need for cybersecurity and network security professionals are extremely demanding. Imagine right now in the world and even in the future, there's currently a shortage of both cybersecurity and network security professionals in the world right now. So a major question is, how major companies are actually making a difference? Well, many organizations are realizing they need to invest properly in network security solutions. It means not only to purchase new security solutions like firewalls and intrusion prevention systems and other security appliances, because we all know a single firewall is not going to safeguard your entire corporate network. Investing in a dedicated security team with persons who are trained, qualified, adds value to improving the overall security posture of your organization. Implementing something known as a defense in depth approach simply enables an organization to secure all attack points, which enables them to reduce the attack surface. This means reducing the risk of a possible cyber attack to your assets, to your network, to your employees. Have you ever considered about protecting, let's say, your web-based traffic or even your email-based traffic that your employees are generating? So the web-based traffic is a regular HTTP traffic, stuff that users would browse on the internet. Emails are sent all the time. But do you have any sort of security controls to protect that traffic and, of course, protect your employees at the same time? Many persons may think a single firewall will be very sufficient enough to provide this layer of protection. But in reality, these firewalls don't always have such capabilities. Therefore, what you want is to implement security controls to safeguard all aspects, such as, let's say, your email traffic, and your web-based traffic. How about your DNS traffic, domain name system? We use DNS every day. DNS is one of the most common network protocols on any network, your internal network, and even the internet. Well, we use DNS, to put simply, to resolve host names to IP addresses. That's just a plain definition. But do you know that hackers are using these common network protocols, such as DNS, as a way to exfiltrate data from your corporate network? So what an attacker can do is, let's say the attacker compromises your computer, and the attacker wants to exfiltrate data, but ensure that your firewall and any sort of security solution does not recognize the actual attack and does not recognize the data is being exfiltrated. Well, what the attacker can do is convert the data into, well, let's say special DNS queries, and send those DNS queries from your computer, which is on your internal network, and pass it through your firewall. And if you are not monitoring your DNS traffic, all your data can be exfiltrated simply because the attacker has encapsulated the data into DNS queries. And this has happened so many times already. To put simply, many organizations are investing in both network security solutions and their security team to help safeguard their organization and protect their assets from all of these different cyber attacks. So as you're watching this webinar, I'm pretty sure that you're wondering, what are some top skills to help build a successful career in network security, or just dive into security? Well, first and foremost, definitely have a solid foundation in networking before diving into either the field of network security or even cybersecurity. The solid foundation will provide you with an in-depth understanding of how data moves across a network and even how the underlying protocols operate that help transport your data from one source to a destination. See, long time ago, when the creators of TCP designed the protocol suite, well, TCP IP that is, security was not really a concern. Hence, many protocols within TCP IP were not designed with security in mind. Hackers are able to exploit these vulnerabilities at all layers and perform network-based attacks and even web-based attacks on their targets. So by gaining a solid foundation in networking will definitely help you understand how these network protocols function, and as an upcoming network security professional, you'll be able to better secure network traffic within your organization's network. Secondly, I would recommend to learn about various types of cyber attacks, threats, and security vulnerabilities. Take the time to learn about various security technologies and tools which security professionals uses to identify vulnerabilities, mitigate threats, and even fix a security weakness. So to put simply, you can do some research and take a look at some vulnerability assessment tools and techniques. You'll be amazed by the amount of different attacks that hackers use to compromise their target system, networks, and even online accounts. Understanding how various security appliances, such as, let's say, firewalls, intrusion prevention systems, even web and email security solutions work to protect end users such as employees. Having the essential knowledge of how these security appliances work will give you a better idea on what can be done to help safeguard your corporate network. Many companies sometimes don't think about protecting their web-based and email-based traffic of their employees. This allows hackers, yes, hackers, to deliver their attack via these channels. Imagine an attacker is distributing their malware through email-based traffic. And if you don't have any sort of security controls or a security appliance to detect or let's say inspect and detect any malicious code in email traffic, you're totally going to miss it. let's go back to DNS. DNS is a common network protocol, and this is typically overlooked. And hackers actually using this as a channel for their cyber attack. So as mentioned, a hacker can simply exfiltrate data by converting it into DNS query messages and send it outside of the organization's network. If the security appliances are not configured to monitor DNS, or let's say your email security appliance or your web-based email security appliance, the cyber attack will be undetected. And the thing is, many organizations take a very, very long time to actually detect a cyber attack within their network. There are many network security certifications out there. And without going too much in depth into any one particular, my best advice to you is when choosing a qualification, ensure you take a look at the topics which you will be covering. Ensure the topics are very clearly defined and it's both theory and hands-on, as in it's practical. It doesn't make sense to pursue a qualification which is only 100% theory, because when you are actually required to use a skill on the job, it will be very problematic for you as the individual. If you want to pursue, let's say, a particular network security certification, but you're unable to acquire the physical equipment for, let's say, the hands-on practice, I would highly recommend to consider virtualization. Not as in to learn virtualization, but to use virtualization to help you. So I actually use virtualization throughout all my networking, cybersecurity, and even network security certs. So what I did is I actually use a hypervisor, which would allow me to virtualize, let's say, network equipment on my laptop. And in that way, I could save a lot of money from rather than buying a lot of physical equipment. Plus, I save a lot of space. And having a virtualized lab on my laptop is portable, so therefore my lab moves with me anywhere I go, which is definitely a plus. Ensure each new certification you decide to pursue, it always teaches you something new. It expands your existing knowledge, it adds value to your portfolio and your resume. Additionally, ensure it challenges you to work harder. I have been using the CodeRed EC Console e-learning platform for a few months now, and I've done a lot of training and I've got a lot of new skills at my own pace. There are many cybersecurity, network security, and even cloud training solutions while training videos on the platform itself. And I've actually done a few myself, and I'm really happy with it so far. Honestly, I really like the fact that after you complete any training on the CodeRed platform by EC Console, you actually get a certification of completion, which, guess what? I actually add to my LinkedIn and my resume, because this adds value to my portfolio. Another important question is, how can we achieve these network security skills and these cybersecurity skills? So some extra tip on achieving network security skills is get a good book, right? Get a good book for whichever certification you decide to pursue. Lab up everything, every single thing. Create a lab, build your own lab, and so on. Remember to consider virtualization, as it will save you a lot of money and physical space. A funny tip is try breaking your lab environment and try to fix it, as this will give you the wisdom on how to troubleshoot, let's say, the unexpected problems. So yeah, build your lab, break your lab, build it back again. That will help build your skills as a professional. Even take a look at ethical hacking and penetration testing. These field focuses on offensive security within the network security and the cybersecurity industry. Remember that network security is about implementing security solutions to protect your network from hackers, which is the bad guys. Whereas penetration testing, it is to simulate a real-world cyber attack. So imagine if you can hack your own network as, let's say, an ethical hacker. Guess what? A real hacker will be able to do the same. So by understanding the security vulnerabilities and so on, this skill will help you test the actual security posture of your network infrastructure, therefore giving you a better insight on how to safeguard your network and the type of network security solutions that you can implement to better lock down your network. So what are some careers in network security and within the industry? To get a better idea of how many opportunities are there, simply do a job search on, let's say, LinkedIn or even Indeed, and use the term network security. You will see that there are over 10,000 plus jobs that is going to appear. Even do a search on just the keyword cybersecurity, and you will be amazed by the number of jobs available. You have network security administrator, network security engineer, security systems specialist, even security consultant. Like, how amazing these titles are. And yes, there are abundance of job out there. So take a look at the requirements of some of these job titles to get a better idea of the required qualifications for these areas in network security. And if you don't have a LinkedIn profile, definitely you should create one now and start networking with other professionals on LinkedIn. Start sharing knowledge and wisdom. Many recruiters and persons within the leadership role within, let's say that you're sharing an interesting idea, will catch their attention. Many of my opportunities that I got actually originate from LinkedIn. And I think you can leverage the power of professional networking with like-minded individuals as well. So don't feel shy about adding someone, or let's say a connection, or let's say a professional within another company, let's say Google or even Microsoft, right? Don't feel shy for adding them, and don't even feel shy about asking for advice or even tips, right? Start networking yourself. This will help you grow your connection, and you will learn a lot more within the industry as well. And consider Twitter. Twitter is one of the best places to get your cybersecurity news. Well, personally for me, it is, but check out Twitter. So guys, I hope my insights on this topic has been very informative for you all, and I would definitely like to thank EC Console and CodeRed. Honestly, I've been using CodeRed for some months, and I've learned so many things that I thought that I would have never learned before. And it's so easy to use. I could stop where I'm at. And the cool thing is, at the end of each domain, there are so very well crafted questions. And these questions help me understand the points that I perhaps have missed in a video, so I could go back in the video and actually review it and build my knowledge and fortify my knowledge as well. So again, I would definitely like to thank EC Console and definitely the CodeRed and the CodeRed team, who's very hardworking behind the scenes to make all this training available to us and to make all these certifications available for us. So once again, EC Console and CodeRed, thank you all for having me on board today for having this talk. My name is Glen D. Singh. You can find me on LinkedIn, Facebook, Instagram, or IG as you kids call it today, even Twitter. And don't feel shy. You could always feel free to connect with me, connect with EC Console, connect with the CodeRed team as well. I'm sure they will be happy to share knowledge with you all. Feel free, guys, to connect with me, connect with EC Console, connect with the CodeRed team. I'm very sure they will be delighted to share knowledge and share any new updates that they are coming out with ever so often. And connecting with me, I'll always be happy to share my knowledge and share my wisdom, even discuss topics with you guys. So thank you so much again, everyone. And thank you, EC Console and CodeRed, for having me today.